Well, I'm not good at this, and Chris isn't here, so I guess the Four Bros is not coming on for the intro tonight. We're going to go with that, but we will run the ads in the middle like we normally do. This is not an April Fool's joke. We are with you live right now. I hope everyone's having a good night. This is J Mac, the bearded one, here with you, and I'm joined tonight by a couple of my friends. Chris might be on. I'm not sure. I'll take him to get home. He had a special thing going on. He got to go to SmackDown tonight. Am I right?
Yep.
We
Yes.
were talking about. Yeah. So we got to go to SmackDown tonight. So congrats to him on that. That's great. You should always take those opportunities whenever you have a chance because you never know when you're going to get another one. But joining me tonight is Double Dirty Big B. How you doing tonight, brother?
Doing good. Busy night at work. Glad I got off in time to come jump on chat with my bros tonight. Always look forward to the show.
All right. And of course, to my left, maybe you're right. I'm not sure where you're sitting, but to my left is Mess Around Dave. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm good. Another late night shopping experience at Walmart is always a good time.
Oh,
Not.
yeah. Walmart's always awesome. It's so great. It's so great going there. I'm totally
Especially
kidding, of
late at
course.
night when the freaks come out.
Oh man, I'll tell you what. People will steal anything. By the way, I got to tell you that's going to be my rant for tonight. We're going to reach out to people will steal anything. I am wondering a big conundrum. By the way, guys, help me out with this one. We're walking around the store today with the district manager, walking down the aisles, and it's all good. I come upon this BB gun, and one of the long ones, like a Red
Yep.
Ryder. Okay, the box is empty. You tell me how someone got that out of the store.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
I don't understand how that one even got out of the store. So that one was a conundrum to me. And then you got a district manager asking you, like, how did nobody see him walk out of the store with this? I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. I'm sorry. I have no idea.
That's why you go ask your surveillance team. What the heck happened? Why aren't you watching?
Oh man, you can't watch everybody
No,
because they
you
all
can't.
come in at the same time. There's 3 or 4
Yep.
of them. They all work together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And why should we even sell makeup anymore? Like makeup is the biggest. I will tell you, more makeup is stolen than anything else probably in the store.
Baby formula is the next one.
Oh man. Well, we don't sell formula at
Oh,
our store anyway, but we do sell diapers. We sell all of that. Now,
I know. I think some Walmarts that I've been to even put it in locked cases now.
yes,
have
I
to
have
get
seen that at Walmart.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do not work for Walmart. I work for a rival company, but that's okay. But they've locked up everything, and I don't want to do that at my store. I don't want to have to lock everything up because I want to have some.
Is that your choice, or would that be your choice, or would that be district manager's choice?
It probably would come down to his choice in the end, but we do have some say in our store. Like I got all the flashlights locked up. Like think about that one. We got to lock up flashlights.
Yeah.
The homeless population is just unreal, and unfortunately, you get a lot of people with mental health problems and addiction, and it kind of takes over. And so they do anything to get their next fix. Kind of crazy, but anyway, enough about that. Let's get into something I told Brandon before the show. I was going to bring up this surprise topic. He had no pre-knowledge of this. Mess Around Dave's already heard it. He couldn't believe it himself when I first said it, but then we started talking about it and it made sense. So I think Brandon's going to be in the same boat when I bring this up. Think about the quarterbacks that are in the NFC. Okay.
The whole NFC, or are we just talking like one division?
The whole NFC.
Whole NFC.
Okay, whole NFC. Okay.
So that would be 16.
Yep.
Quarterbacks, correct? All right.
Before you get to this, where would you put Kirk Cousins?
Without. Okay. So if I said there's 16 quarterbacks, this is what I would say. If there's 16 quarterbacks in the NFC, what number would you rank Kirk Cousins without looking at the names?
Okay, so let me see. Brady, Rodgers, Stafford, Dak. God, I'd hate to do. He's in the NFC alone. He's got to be in the top 5, probably 5. I'd probably put him at 5.
I never thought you were going to say that, by the way.
Good call.
Never thought
But
you
I
were gonna
can't
say
think of
that.
5 better. But
Well, it was interesting because I never actually saw, I never actually imagined you saying that because you talk about Kirk Cousins and how horrible he is.
it's not that I talk. I just don't like his contract. But I mean, he's not good in primetime games, which is documented. But I mean, to name off just quick thought. I mean, Brady, Rodgers, Stafford, Dak, and then after that is where I would put. I mean,
No, you're right.
You're right.
And we talked about that. So actually, this list that I saw was done by SOG. Not sure what they're from, but SOG football, and they have him ranked 6th in the NFC. They have Kyler Murray ahead of him. I'm not sure that I agree with that yet.
No, I would. I don't know.
But and at first think you're like, man, Kirk Cousins is really the 6th best or the 5th best. Well, here's some other names to throw out there, and you tell me if you'd put these guys above him, because I don't think you can.
No.
Jameis Winston.
No.
Jalen Hurts.
Not now, but I got to see him progress more, I think.
Carson Wentz.
Oh,
No.
God.
You can't.
No,
sorry,
because he's always hurt. When he's healthy, yes, because he's always in the MVP category when he's healthy, when he starts off the season. But, yeah, he's hurt.
Either Trey Lance or Jimmy G, whichever one you want to start.
No.
Neither one of them. Justin Fields, I don't think yet. He hasn't proven to be
Not
better.
yet, no. I'm with you on that one.
Jared Goff, no,
No.
not even close.
No.
Daniel Jones, no.
Nope.
Danny doesn't know how to dime.
Right. Sam Darnold, you can't put him above Cousins.
No.
Drew Lock, who's now
No.
in Seattle, and Marcus Mariota. You can't put any of them above Kirk Cousins.
Back in the day, I would put Mariota ahead of him, but
Right.
I mean,
So
No.
you're right. To me, there's really only 4, maybe 5 that are better than Cousins. That'd be
I can hear
Rodgers,
the Murray debate, but the other 4 you can't debate.
right. Rodgers, Brady, Stafford, Prescott, Murray, and Cousins are probably top 5.
I would
6 in
flip flop
the list.
Murray and King Cousins. I would, because Cousins doesn't turn the ball over like Murray does.
No. As a matter of fact, Dak, Murray, and Cousins, you could probably get a good debate on those 3 on what order you could put. But
Right.
the other 3 you can't. I mean,
No.
even though Stafford's only done it for 1 year, we knew what it was like with the Lions. I mean, once he got a good team, look what he did. Brady,
Right.
Brady's undoubtedly, as much as we don't want to say the GOAT word, I mean, he is. I mean, and then Rodgers is up there. So,
As much as Dave doesn't want to hear that either.
No.
Rodgers is up there, but he is.
no.
F. Rodgers.
Okay, here's something else interesting, Big B, and Mess Around already saw this too. So we always talk about how Troy Aikman should not be in the Hall of Fame. We've said that how many times?
Okay.
A lot, right?
Yep.
So it's really an awkward moment when you realize some of the quarterbacks that have been better in their careers than Troy Aikman. And tonight is going to be spotlighted Jay Cutler.
I saw this the other day. Somebody posted that
I did.
in our
Jay
chat or
Cutler
Facebook.
had-
I saw it somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did on Facebook and the chat.
Jay Cutler had
Yeah.
more career passing yards, a better completion percentage. He had 43 more touchdown passes and only 5 more interceptions all time, and had a better passer rating the passer rating was by almost 4.5 points on the passer
And they played in
rating
the
his
same
career.
era, right? Or close to
And
it.
they- it played around the same time.
Yeah.
Think about that. I mean, that's crazy that Cutler has better numbers in his career than Troy Aikman, and Troy Aikman is in the Hall of Fame. And if we said right now, and this is no thinking, just a snap decision, is Cutler a Hall of Famer? Yes or no?
No.
No.
Because he doesn't have a ring, right? He went to
No.
one, right?
No,
No,
he went. But that's
he's
the
never
thing.
even been to one.
No, he didn't go to one. It was
He
Rex
wasn't with the
Grossman.
Bears when they went?
No, it
I
was
thought
Rex
he was.
Grossman.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's right. Oh, that was Rex Grossman and Orton. That's right.
Yeah. But think about that. I mean, he has better numbers than Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman is only there because they won 3 Super Bowls. That's the only reason Troy Aikman's in the Hall of Fame.
The only reason.
Oh, yeah.
If it wasn't for the offensive line, Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, Alvin Harper, Jay Novacek,
The Minnesota Vikings.
Right, the Minnesota Vikings. The list goes on because you could go to their defense. You could go, it's because of Ken Norton. It's because of Leon Lett. I mean, there's so many guys you could go on that were on that team.
Charles Haley.
Yeah, Charles Haley.
That could go back to, even go back in the Pittsburgh days. I think there's a big debate going on who should be in the Hall of Fame and who shouldn't. I mean, Bradford won 4. Did he have the numbers? I mean,
Bradshaw, he was terrible too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw a thing that said in Bradshaw's first season in the NFL, first year, okay, his completion percentage was under 50%. He threw for 2,400 yards. He threw 8 touchdowns and 26 interceptions. In today's league, you would never play another game in the NFL.
He would have been relegated to backup duty for the rest of his career.
Yeah. Speaking of career backups, can anyone explain this one to me? Chase Daniel.
Oh, gosh.
Do you realize I saw a stat that said if he doesn't throw another pass the rest of his career, that means that for every attempt he made in the NFL, every time he threw the ball, he made $212,000 in his NFL career for every attempt. Per attempt.
Yeah.
As a career backup. What do they see in this guy? He doesn't even have 3,000 career passing yards.
I think he's only got a couple hundred career passes, right?
It's insane what they see in this guy. How he keeps getting jobs, I don't know.
Well, you can say the same thing about, Teddy Bridgewater. As much as I liked the guy and thought he was talented, outside of that 1 year in New Orleans, he's been a dud. Who's the other guy I'm thinking of? McDowns. How many teams have those guys been on?
No, you're right. You're right about that. Let's see. Isaiah's watching. Nate McWhirt has commented, and Christy Wilson. Thanks for being here tonight. We appreciate every single one of you. So the NFL has been kind of crazy this year. Don't forget today's April Fool's Day. So anything that you read today on the internet, you really need to fact check because there was a lot of bogus stories going around today. Make sure that we fact check all of those. So that baseball, football, any of them.
Anything. Real life.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got Chase Daniel's career numbers here. He has completed 178 passes. He's attempted 261. He's thrown 8 career touchdowns, 7 picks. 261 passes in his 11-year career.
Yeah. He's thrown 8 touchdowns. So we could break it down by touchdown, how much money he made per touchdown. That would be insane to find out.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Insane.
I don't get it. But Christy said she hates April Fool's Day. I don't mind it, but you get some of the silly ones or some people that take it over the top.
Brandon got me with one this morning.
Oh, you got me too. Because I looked, I'm like, okay, this must be breaking. It came on my news feed, and it looked legit because it had the MLB logo and stuff, and it was in a chat, and I'm like, oh my God, Trout's out again? And I kind of looked, I before I posted, I'm like, really? Didn't see nothing, so I put it in the chat thinking, hey, did anybody else see this? And Dave is like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And then, I didn't even realize it was April Fool's Day because I woke up right away when I saw it. And, yeah.
So,
but the ones that get me, I don't mind April Fool's Day, good joke, whatever. But what gets me is, like J-Mac is alluding to, is the post, so-and-so died, so-and-so died. It's just like, come on. Let's get off of that.
Bad form, bad taste.
That goes too far. Yeah. All right, so we're going to run these ads real quick, and we will be right back with you on the Four Bros Radio Show.
K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
All right. Make sure you check out our sponsors that will pay the bills and keep this great show going. And now, one story, we were talking about April Fool's Day. One story that I thought was an April Fool's joke is when they said Craig Kimbrell was going to the Dodgers for A.J. Pollock from the White Sox. And I'm like, all right. So I'm like, I got to fact check this one. Nope, that one is not an April Fool's joke. So A.J. Pollock will be joining the White Sox. Kimbrell will be in the Dodgers in L.A. And I read this article that said that the Dodgers, everyone's like, oh, just send them the damn trophy. Well, they might not be as good off as you think they are. Bellinger has struggled big time in the spring. So we don't know what's going on with him. And now they lost Pollock. And so now with Bellinger, they think he has an injury. He may not be ready for opening day. And you just lost Pollock, who's your center fielder. Left fielder. Now you have potentially two outfield spots. Who are you going to put out in the outfield if you're the Dodgers? So you're starting the season off not so hot as the Dodgers. So something to think about.
I mean, I'm totally shocked by the move being a Twins fan because, Kimbrell was a decent closer, and it's just like, why, if you're a contending team, why would you give up your closer,
Well, the reason is
you would know.
The reason is because they have Liam Hendricks as their closer, and Kimbrell was their setup man. When he came over from the Cubs last year to the White Sox, he was the Cubs closer. He had a 0.49 ERA as a closer for the Cubs. And I think it was 19 appearances with us. He moved to setup role because we had Hendricks. And his ERA went from 0.49 to 5-something. He's not a setup guy, and we already had a closer, so it made sense to move him.
Okay.
We needed the right fielder. So the move's great for both teams. Well, it was until Bellinger got hurt. So now the Dodgers are stuck in limbo. They have no outfielders. So
they'll find somebody.
Yeah, they will. Nate McWirt says, I read that Ronald Acuna got traded. Yeah, no one believed that one. Atlanta's not trading Ronald Acuna Jr. It's just not happening. A team would have to give them the farm. I mean, they'd have to trade away every prospect they had.
Right.
Unless you're talking Acuna for Ohtani or Acuna for Grad Jr., some stud. I mean, Acuna's not going anywhere.
No, he's not going anywhere. So that one definitely was an April Fool's joke.
The stupidest April Fool's joke that I saw today about sports was Aaron Rodgers signed a 2-year deal with the Bears. I'm like, that is nobody's going to fall for that because Aaron Rodgers already signed with the Packers, idiot.
Yeah, I saw one that he retired. I will admit I got just a tiny bit excited.
I would have kind of happy with that one too. So since we're on April Fool's, quick, J-Mac, I don't know if you're going to go to this. What's the best April Fool's joke you guys pulled?
Oh,
or funniest? Maybe not even the best one, but the funniest one.
Funniest last year. I walk into work and I was like, man, I've had enough of this place. I quit. I'm quitting. Today is my last day.
Oh, I've done that one too.
My boss is like, what? You're not going anywhere. You're not quitting. I'm like, you're right. I'm not April Fool's. And she's like, you mother.
So
I can't believe you got me.
I have played some good ones over the years. I'll say that. But the best one, the one that sticks in memory the most, was I was running the meat department at Walmart, and I had this girl who was, 19, 20 years old, something like that. Her name was Paige. She said, I don't get April Fools. It's so stupid. I'm too smart to fall for an April Fool's joke. It's just dumb. It's a dumb thing. I don't get why anyone does it. I'm like, oh, okay. I mean, no, I get your point. That's cool. So she goes on her lunch break. She comes back and she's in the department, and I'm doing my scanning, come by, and she walks by, and I'm like, hey, Paige, while you were on lunch, store manager John came by. He just said something like, when you came back, you needed to go see him in his office or something. I don't know what it's about. He wouldn't tell me. And she's like, oh, I wonder what he wants. So she goes and takes her stuff to the back. walks up to his office and says, "John, Jason said you needed me up here." And he's like, "Uh-huh. And do you realize what day it is?" That was probably the best, just because she said no one would ever get her on an April Fool's joke. And so that was probably the best one. But I pulled some great ones. I pulled some great ones, texting. Actually, Sarge can vouch for this one. He was on the softball team that year. Texting everyone on the softball team that I was out for the year because I tore my ACL falling down the stairs carrying groceries into my house. That one was pretty funny because they all freaked out. That was a good one. What else? Oh, I called my mom one time on April Fool's. Dave, you'll love this one. Because I wish Mom was watching because she could tell you this. I called her one time and I'm like, "Mom, you have to come and take me to the hospital." And I have her freaking out. She's like, "What's okay? I'm getting in the car. What's the matter? What's the matter?" And I'm like, I don't know. It just keeps happening over and over again." She's like, What? And I'm like, every time I close my eyes, I can't see anything.
Wow. Wow.
I thought it was way funnier than she did, by the way.
I bet you did. No, I remember too. One, I was at work while working, and a guy told me he was going to turn in his 2 weeks on April Fool's Day, being a joke, and so he did. The manager, he was talking to me. He goes, "Yeah, he turned in his 2 weeks." I was like, "Yeah, it's April Fool's Day." He's like, "Oh, okay." So he played it back. He took him off the schedule. The next schedule didn't have him come on. And so he goes in the office and he's like, "Dude, what's going on? Why am I off the schedule?" He's like, "Well, you turned in 2 weeks. Here's your paperwork and stuff." And he's like, "Dude, it was a joke. It was on April Fool's Day." He goes, "Well, I already called corporate, and he's like, the guy's freaking out. And my boss goes, "Play April Fool's on me, see what happens." He's like, "Oh, man." But one I liked was when I was in school, high school, everybody had everybody's combination, and a buddy of mine, like clockwork, would get to his, try to play pranks all year long. I was like, "Dude, I'm going to get you one of these days." And I remember getting to his locker first, had his combination, knew what time he was walking through the door to his locker. And so I'm sitting there, and I can see him out of the corner of my eye. He sees me at his locker, he backs away. I close the locker, go away. He avoided his locker all day long. He didn't have books for his classes. So finally he's like, "God, I gotta get my books." So he goes and gets his books, and he opens up his locker, and he does if you guys see Major League where Wesley Snipes jumps behind his locker door to see, so he doesn't see the black or the pink slip. So he does that, and he peeks around and looks in, and I'm just laughing down the hallway. He goes, "God damn it. You had me freaking out all day." I was like, "Yeah, April Fool's."
You didn't even do anything.
I didn't do nothing to his locker, but it was great.
That's great. Yeah. Definitely fun. No, it's a fun day. It's a day to have fun and mess with people. I got someone just today. I was carrying that box I was talking about with the Red Ryder BB gun, and I had it in my hands. And I walk up to the front, and I'm like, "Hey, can you hold this for a second so I can tie my shoe?" And they held it, and then I just walked off down the aisle. Yeah, there's just stupid little things you can do that are quite funny. But some great things. Let's hit real quick. Baseball is now 6 days away from opening day. Can't wait for that. The 7th is coming up real quick. Baseball's back. It'll be back on the 7th. It'll be a great time. The NBA, they're wrapping up their season. They're getting ready to go into the playoffs. Some surprising teams that are out, some surprising teams that are in, for sure. My Spurs held on to the 10th spot in the West so they can be in the play-in game. I think this is going to be Pop's last year. I don't really see him coming back next year. He set the record for wins. I don't think he's going to stick around. We're going to be in a rebuilding phase. It's going to suck for me. The first time really in 20 years that I have to see my team not do well. Maybe a little longer than that, even 25 years, maybe a long time. Let's see. So first off, you spelled leek wrong because the food leak is Leek, but we won't
No,
get
but
into
it's hilarious. That's a good one.
But it is funny. It is funny. You could also put bottles outside the bathroom and then go tell somebody that there's water running from the bathroom. I've seen that one. Anyway, let's go. Your favorite tonight. We're gonna tell. All of us get to tell our favorite joke.
Oh man,
A good joke or favorite joke, and I could get us warmed up. I got a couple.
yeah, go ahead.
I got a couple that I saw. Sometimes even after all these years, I wake up and look over at my wife sleeping peacefully beside me and think, man, she's lucky.
Shit.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good one there. What else did I see? I always save these. I see them on Facebook and then I save them. You guys ever do that? You find yourself like saving posts on Facebook just to read later?
Especially when Mess Around's been doing a lot of dad jokes or stuff like that. You got to share them with everybody.
Right?
They're great.
Here you go. So a couple and their child were looking over our Marvel characters in our store. And the dad turns to the little girl and asks, which Marvel character do you want? His little girl, maybe 9 years old, replies, I think I want Captain Marvel. Dad makes a face and says, how about you choose a real superhero, not a little princess? Me and my coworkers were about to smack down on this man when his wife makes a face and says, honey, you get Captain Marvel. Then she turns to her husband and says, shut the fuck up, Greg. And that has been our motto for dealing with misogynists at work. Shut the fuck up, Greg. It's pretty that becomes your new thing at work. That's always pretty funny, I shared this one with Brandon a couple weeks ago. One way to find out if you're old is to fall down in front of a lot of people. If they laugh, you're still young. If they panic and start running to you, you're old.
Yeah.
I think we're all getting there. This is maybe the best one I have saved recently. It says, why beer is better than women. Okay?
Why is wine better than women? Okay.
Why beer is better than
Oh,
women.
beer. Okay.
Beer is always wet. A frigid beer is a good beer. Beer never has a headache. Beer always goes down easy. You can share a beer. You can share a beer with your friends. You don't have to wine and dine a beer. You can enjoy a beer every day of the month. You always know you are the first one to pop the top on the beer. You don't have to wash a beer before it tastes good. You can have more than one beer without feeling guilty. Beer doesn't get jealous when you grab another beer. And if you pour a beer right, you'll always have good head.
Oh, good thing it's dark 30.
Right? I'm sure you could agree with this one, Brandon, working in the casino.
All right.
Concept. We do a movie where it's the purge, but it's 24 hours where retail workers get to be as rude as they want. Example question. Do you have a bathroom? No. We shit outside like the bears. I can't imagine. I mean, how many times a day do you get asked that question? Do you have a bathroom? No. We don't.
Where's the closest bathroom?
I saw this one the other day. It said you tell someone they were in your dreams and they automatically think it's sexual, right? Automatically. But you're like, dude, you don't understand. You morphed into a Tyrannosaurus and chased me around Walmart. Oh God, that's great. You guys come up with anything yet?
God, I mean,
Um,
I used to watch like the guy in Minnesota here, but I can't think. His son would always do some good jokes. You know, like coming home from school and telling his dad, "Dad, I got in trouble." And the one that sticks out to me all the time is his son comes home and goes, "Dad, I got in trouble with the teacher again." And he's like, "Why?" Well, the teacher was asking us. Oh God, I can't remember the whole joke, but it ends up going, "Well, what sound does a cow make?" And he goes, and he raises his hand. He goes, "Oh, oh, what was it? I'm sorry, I blew the whole joke, but um." God dang it! Now I'm gonna have to look it up and have you guys on Monday because I'm trying to think now.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So there's this great TikTok I saw, right? And it goes through this whole thing and it says, this is literally what it's like being married. And so it goes through this whole thing and it says, hey, babe, and this is the guy talking. I fell down at work. I think I got a mild concussion, but it looks like my Paula drove me to the hospital. It looks like my leg might be broken as well, and they might have to amputate. I really wish you were here. I hope you can make it here. And her first question is, who the fuck is Paula?
I got one for you. Yeah, this couple on Instagram, they make these reels. I can't remember their names, but they're really funny. So his wife asked him, she's like, babe, what's your worst nightmare? He goes, your mom fell on top of me. And she goes, what's your favorite dream? Your mom fell on top of me.
Oh, wow.
Oh my God. That's awesome. Oh man. I saw this reel earlier. It had Bryan Cranston. You guys know who that is? The Breaking Bad guy.
Okay.
And he was on Malcolm in the Middle as the dad. And this kid stands up and talks to him at a Comic-Con, and he's like, hey, when you were doing Breaking Bad, like, I'm from Albuquerque. I'm curious, like, what did you have any fun? What was your favorite places? Because it's my hometown, and I'm genuinely curious about it. And he's like, yeah, I had a little fun. I went to your mom's house a couple times.
Yeah.
The mom jokes are always classics, aren't they?
Oh,
the mom jokes. Oh, God.
Yeah, the mom jokes are always good. The one I like is in White Man Can't Jump when Woody Harrelson's on the basketball court at the beginning, and Wesley Snipes like, your mom is an astronaut, and he starts laughing. He goes, good. He doesn't even know he's getting ripped on. He goes, my mom's too dumb to be an astronaut.
That is funny. So before we go into rapid fire,
I found it. It's Chelsea DeVille.
Chelsea DeVille.
Her and her husband make the best reels. They're so funny.
Oh, okay.
Look them up on Instagram, Chelsea DeVille. One more. My favorite Little Johnny joke of all time, by the way. This is my favorite.
Yeah,
one.
Little Johnny. That's who I watch all the time. Now that
this is my favorite one ever. So they get to class and the teacher says, hey, today we're going to come up to the chalkboard and we're going to draw pictures of what show us excitement. Okay. So little Susie raises her hand to come up first, and she draws like unicorns and rainbows and all little dollies. And she's like, very good, little Susie, good name for the day. She races that. She calls up little Billy. Little Billy comes up and he draws army men shooting each other and just this whole scene. And she's like, very good, little Billy, good name for the day. And she's like, all right, little Johnny, come on up. So he comes up, picks up the chalk, shoves it into the chalkboard, puts a big old dot on the board. Just a big dot, throws the chalk down and goes and sits down. She's like, I'm a little lost. Do you want to come up and elaborate on this? So he comes up, goes about 6 inches over from that one, puts another big old dot on the board, throws the chalk down and goes and sits down. She's like, little Johnny, I didn't know what to expect, but I didn't expect this. I'm not real sure what you're trying to say here. And he goes, well, listen, these are periods. My sister skipped 2 of these, and there's a lot of excitement in my house.
So I got one down that it just came to me when you said little Johnny. There's one where they're in class, the teacher's like, okay, I'll give you guys a question. You guys get it right. You guys have a 3-day weekend. On Thursday. So, you don't have to come in on Friday. So the teacher's like, how many blades of grass are in our yard? Of course, nobody could get the answer. All right. So they all had to come to school on Friday. So the teacher again, the following Thursday goes, how many, give you guys another chance. How many, little sand particles are in our playground? Of course, nobody could get the answer. So little Johnny's like, goes home and goes, okay, I'm going to get the teacher this time. So the following Thursday, or over the night, he painted some ping pong balls black. So the teacher gets ready to ask a question. She's turned to the blackboard, so he throws them. The teacher turns around and goes, all right, who's a comedian that has small balls? He goes, Kevin Hart, I'll see you on Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I like that. That's awesome. That was a good one, Big P. All right.
I heard a little Johnny one that was pretty good too. He's like, he's sitting in class one day and the teacher notices his flies open. And she points out, she's like, hey, your flies open. He's like, oh, zips up. And he's like, well, did you notice that while my fly was open, there was a little man standing at attention? And she goes, no, but I noticed there's a disabled veteran sitting on balls.
Wow.
Oh, man. That's oh, wow. All right. So you guys get 3 questions each for
All right.
rapid fire since Crispy Bacon's not here tonight. Here we go. These are hard rapid fire questions.
So it's not floppy or hard, huh?
Yeah, right. Not floppy or hard tonight.
Crispy's not here for that.
Yeah, right. So Double Dirty Big B, we'll start with you.
All right.
Would you fake your own death if it meant protecting your family?
Ooh. Oh, that's a tough one. Honestly, I would have to say, yeah, I mean, I know it would be hard how close my family is and stuff, but yeah, I think I would, I think I would do it to protect my family.
All right. Next question is, what is a lesson that took you too long to learn?
Man. Lesson, I guess just the value of money. I mean, growing up, you think you have it all, but, now that I got a family, kids, mortgage, car payments, I mean, it's hard to earn. So.
All right. And your last one is, looking back, are you where you thought you would be at this point in your life?
No, I mean, with the family, kid, good job, yeah. But I figured, we all had the dreams of a different road, and mine was through sports, and just come to realize that it wasn't meant to be. So, outside of having a family in the house, but as a kid, yes, I'm at where I thought I'd be, but maybe a different route to it.
All right, mess around, Dave.
All right, do this.
What is humanity's worst quality?
What's humanity's worst what?
Worst quality. What's the worst thing about humanity?
I'd probably have to say greed.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'm right there with you. That's actually, I think that's a good one. If you could undergo a procedure that would erase memories and you got to pick the memories, would you have the procedure?
Ooh.
I don't know, because is it like all your memory or just a particular
No, you get to
memory?
pick, he said.
You get to pick the memories.
So all those one night stands you can erase or mess around.
Well, there's only 2 of them. I mean,
Walked into that one.
Oh,
I would have to go with both those because they were terribly bad.
okay. All right. And last one. Mess around, Dave. What is your biggest fear?
Heights.
Heights.
Heights. Do not do
Wow.
heights at all.
Nope.
You will
I'll
never
look
catch
at
me
that
on a
one.
ladder.
Wow. Hey.
That's
We
a
all have-
close second.
Yeah. We all have our biggest fears. That's for
Yep.
sure. That's for sure.
I would
All
say
right.
dying, but that's inevitable. Everybody's going to die. So for me, it's
Everyone's
heights.
going to die at some point. I don't think that's a fear. I mean, that's something you want to put off as long as possible, but I don't think it's a fear.
Right.
I think it's more of a fear that, you're not going to be around to see, younger generation grow up and stuff. 'Cause
When
it's
I
a
was
fear of
younger, I
mine.
was afraid of dying, but now
No, I still am.
And I think Big B, brings up a good point. That's time for another show. We can do that another time.
Yeah.
But it's one of those that I think that as you start getting older, you're not afraid of dying. You're just afraid of
Not being here.
not
Yep.
being here, leaving something behind that you think you didn't fulfill a destiny that you wanted to fulfill.
we
I think
definitely want to pass before my kids for sure. But
Oh, yeah.
For sure. All right. Well, we're not going to get too deep into that tonight. We might
Right.
do that another time. But thanks for watching tonight. We're going to give each guy 30 seconds. Big B, go ahead.
This weekend, first, thanks for the viewers and, coming on and chit-chat with us. But this weekend, one of my favorite times of the weekend is WrestleMania weekend, being a WrestleMania fan. So I'm going to enjoy that all day Sunday with my son. Watched some of the Hall of Fame speeches today, which, like I told these guys, kind of choked me up a little bit. So I had to stop watching while I was at work. But outside of that, keep tuning in to Coast all week long. We got great shows. I know J-Max got something brewing for Sunday for football. Tuesday, we got On Deck, got a couple wrestling shows. So just keep checking us out all week long.
Absolutely. And mess around, Dave.
Yeah, good times. Love the show. Like Brandon said, we got WrestleMania this weekend. We're gonna do a watch type party for Between the Ropes Saturday and Sunday. J-Mac, myself, and Ace have a new show coming out next week, so look out for that. It's gonna be exciting. It's an oldie but a goodie, one that S3 first started out with. So
Yeah. It'll be good times. And I am J-Mac the Bearded One with Mess Around Dave, Double Dirty Big B. Thank you for watching, listening, however you get us. Don't forget, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Anchor, TikTok, anywhere you get your podcasts, that's where we are. Check out Coast to Coast Network, some great stuff here. Lifelong dreams being lived in front of your very eyes, and we could not do that without you. Enjoy the show very much. Wouldn't rather do it with any other group of guys than the guys I do it with right now. You guys make this all worth this. So you guys have a great weekend. Whatever you have planned this weekend, be safe. We want you to come back and be able to watch us again and hear that everyone has a safe weekend. So we will see you all on the other side.
Bye, please.